How about it, y'all? This is Daniel Nicholson with Nicholson Farms, and welcome back to another video. Today we got several different things going on, so you're not going to want to miss any of it. So y'all stick with us and check out what we got going on. So the first topic at hand that I want to talk about today is I think we got a little bit of Coccidia going through our herd right now. I don't know if it's all the green grass coming out at one time, but I've got several does that have some diarrhea. And you know anything about goats, diarrhea can be a sign of many different things, whether it's Coccidia, something they ate, worms sometimes. But I've got one nanny that's got some real young babies on her, and she's had the runs for about 2 days now, and she's starting to get kind of weak and trying to push her babies off, and they are way too young to be pushed off. This is her right here, our goat named Sheep. You can tell she's kind of got a nasty butt on her. These are her two babies. They're running around. They always seem hungry, so I know they're not getting enough milk. But I think I'm gonna pin her up and treat her separately from the rest of the goats. I'm gonna go ahead and treat her for Coccidia. I'll talk to you about that. And we're also going to give her some electric lights, try to get her, because she's pretty dehydrated. They lose a lot of fluids when they have diarrhea. And trying to get her just pinned up with these babies, make sure these babies are eating. Because like I said, they're only 2 weeks old. It is way too soon for them to be going off of milk. And I know they're hungry. They're running around to the other nannies trying to steal milk. So I think how we're going to start the day is all the goats are in this pasture right here behind me. And like I said, it could be Coccidia is our problem, but I'm not 100% sure. But to knock some of that out, we're gonna go ahead and move them to another pasture that'll help with the worm load, as well as the Coccidia. Coccidia, all goats have Coccidia. It's just if their immune system goes down or something's bothering them, they're real stressed out and their immune system goes down, they can't fight off all that Coccidia. So we're just gonna go ahead and move them on fresh ground. And I'm gonna show you how I'm treating the goats for Coccidia, and we'll just keep on going with the day. I'm just gonna bring you along with me while I rotate these goats. I've got something kind of cool going on with my billies. I'll show you all that soon. And today's just gonna be full of goats, so I hope you enjoy it. So like I said, my first step is gonna be moving these goats to a new pasture they have not been on. I did have several little billies on it, but they're pretty healthy. They didn't eat down the grass that much. And even the grass in this pasture, it's well over ankle deep. But these nannies have been on here for about 4 weeks now. So we're gonna go ahead and move them on to the next pasture. And like I said, just some fresh ground, less worm load, less Coccidia load, and all that. So I got a bucket of feed. We're just gonna walk over here and see all of them follow me. I don't know how many of them's hungry. It could be a challenge. Come on. Woo! Come on. Got about half of them coming. Maybe the rest of them will trail behind them. Come on. They're starting to come. Kind of talking about the worms. Once I did start seeing diarrhea, I did start checking some eyelids, and I spot wormed a couple of them that needed it. Sheep, the one that's really kind of weak, she doesn't have a high worm load, so I really think it's Coccidia on her, just because she has those fresh babies on her. She's stressed out about that. She's producing milk, so I don't know, it's just part of it. You got to learn to deal with it. Some animals can handle it better than others. So I got about half of them. I went ahead and locked them up in this pasture where the horses were. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave the goats on that as well. They have more water access. I have a hose pipe there. I don't have to haul water to them. So we're gonna leave them in there, and then they'll have this pasture as well. And this pasture right here, Like I said, it only had 5 goats on it. So it's not really that bad for its worms. The patch that they're in, it's a little more eaten down, but the horses are on it. Any kind of worms or eggs or anything like that, the horses would be eating those down, and those worms cannot survive in the horse's digestive system. So let's see if we can get the rest of them. Most of what's left is mamas with babies, so it might be a little harder. So that took a whole lot longer than it should have. These goats have got plenty of grass to eat, and I fed them a good bit yesterday, so they wasn't quite hungry. It's not quite feeding time. So our next step is we're gonna get old sheep here set up in the barn in a little stall. We're gonna get her electric lights and some fresh water, treat her with cord for the Coccidia, and just get her set up nice. See if we're probably gonna give her some vitamin B so she can start eating a little more, and I'm gonna put some mineral in there, so maybe she'll eat some of that salt, make her drink some water faster, and hopefully just get her back hydrated. We'll get her pinned up real quick, and then we'll go get her babies and put them in there with her. She doesn't have too much interest in them. She'll go to them, but she won't let them suck. So we're gonna get her set up, and then we might hold her down, let them suck for a little bit, and just kind of see how it goes. So we got sheep set up in her little stall, so she'll be hanging out for the next couple days until she gets some strength back together, until we take care of that runny butt. But she's eating on that salt, or that mineral. It's got a lot of salt in it, so we'll make her drink a lot of fresh water. She also has some feed, some hay, and I'm about to go get some electric lights. It's actually some electric lights I've never used before, so we're gonna give her that and see how that goes, and we're also gonna treat her for that Coccidia today. So let me get all that stuff together and I'll get back with you, and we'll see if we can make sheep feel a little better, and then we'll go get her babies. So what we're going to be treating sheep with today, kind of to cover a lot of different things, mainly the Coccidias. Coccidia is what I really believe it is, just because of the amount of stress she's been under, having 2 babies, trying to raise 2 babies. You got the warm weather and the wet weather, all combinations, perfect breeding ground for any kind of parasite. So the kind of things we're gonna do to kind of cover all our bases on her is I'm gonna be treating her with cord. Cord is used for Coccidia, and I'm gonna be doing that as a drench. We're gonna talk about how to do it in their drinking water here in a second, where I'm gonna treat the whole herd. But basically I mixed, with 1 pint of water, I mixed, 3 fluid ounces of cord, and you can get this at any farm store. It's yellow. This bottle's empty. I just poured the rest of it out to treat the other goats, but this is what we're gonna use. I'm gonna give her, you give her 30 milliliters or 30 cc's of drench per 100 pounds. She's probably right at 100 pounds, maybe a little bit more. So I'm gonna give her about 32 cc's of it, and hopefully this will be a 5-day treatment, and hopefully after 5 days her stool will come back firm, the little pebbles that you want to see, and she gets rid of this diarrhea, she gets her energy back, she gets hydrated. To kind of boost her hydration, this is Electro. I picked this up at Tractor Supply, and if I can find the links to this stuff on Amazon, I will put it on there, or just links in general. I'll put it in the description box below if I can remember. But this right here, it says half a cc to 1 cc per pound of body weight by mouth twice daily or more often as needed. Now this is only 30 cc's. This goat's probably 100 pounds, maybe a little bit more. And so this is only gonna treat a 60-pound goat. I'm just gonna give her that whole tube. In between that and the salt and the mineral that I've been watching her eat, that should get her hydration back. If she doesn't get it back by tomorrow, I'll go pick up some more of this stuff. I've got to go pick up more cord anyways, And so the other thing we're going to be giving them is I've got 5 cc's of vitamin B drawn out. We'll be giving it sub-Q right underneath the skin. This vitamin B is going to give her a little bit of energy, kind of get her appetite going, make her want to eat. We got to get that rumen going so she can digest her food and not just let it all out as water. So we're going to be doing that, and hopefully this will make her eat a good bit of hay, get some of that roughage in there to kind of get some fiber in her digestive system. So let me set the camera up. We'll get her treated with all this stuff. She's probably not going to like it. And also, probably later on this afternoon, I'm not going to give her all of this at one time. I don't want to stress her out more than I have to. I'm going to mix up a little bit of baking soda and water, and we'll give that as a drench as well. And that'll kind of help her digestive system kind of settle down as well. But we're going to do that later on. I'm not going to film that, but I just want to let y'all know that's what I was going to do. So let me get in here with her and give her all this stuff and see if she still likes me after we're done. So I'm gonna go ahead and give her the electrolytes first. See if I can get her. She's a wild one. And so like I said, this is 1 cc per 100 pounds, and it's only 30 cc's in this tube. Instead of giving her all of it at one time, I think I'm gonna give it half of it to her now, and then later on this afternoon I'll give her the other half. We're just gonna stick it in her mouth, squirt that gel in there, kind of let her chew that up for a minute. Make sure she swallows all that. It's apple. It smells like apple, so she might like it. We're gonna go ahead and give her the 5 cc's of vitamin B, and I'll be doing this every day until she eats the food that I pour out. Right now she's not that hungry. She's just kind of weak, doesn't really have appetite. So we'll go ahead and give her that. Like I said, it's sub-Q. We're gonna go right under the skin. She's not gonna like it. Pinch the skin up, stick it in. Kind of rub it down. It left a little bit of a welt. It kind of burns. She's not gonna like that. And now we'll get the cord and we'll give her that. So I want to make sure she swallows all this. I'm gonna stick this as far back in her throat as I can. Hold her mouth shut. Give it to her and hold her mouth shut. Make her swallow. It looks like she got it all. So now that we got sheep taken care of, I'm gonna run up to the front. I'm gonna go grab her babies. We're gonna do a little bit for them, and I kind of explained that. And then I'm probably gonna hold her down and let them babies suck, because like I said, I don't think they've been eating that much. They are trying to eat grass, but they're too young for their digestive systems to just support themselves off of grass. So we're gonna let them suck for a minute, and I'm gonna give them a little bit of medicine as well, just to help them. So let me go grab them real quick and we'll talk about that. So I got the babies down here and they're chasing her around, wanting to eat bad. She just kind of keeps stepping away from them. She'll acknowledge them. She knows they're hers, but she just won't let them suck that much. This is just part of nature. She knows her body can't support them right now. And so she's just trying to kick them to the side, making them fend for themselves. But I don't want another bottle baby. So we're gonna be doctoring on sheep a good bit, and we're gonna be making sure these babies, they eat. I'm gonna leave them with their mothers or their mother, and if I need to, I'll just supplement them with a bottle once a day. But like I said, I don't plan on taking these babies home. They're fighters. I mean, look at them eating. They're only 2 weeks old. As long as we can get her to stop having the runs and make her hold them babies. I mean, letting them babies suck. Then when she pulls out of this, I think she'll start taking care of them again. But we got to get her feeling better. And we just got to make sure these babies hang with us until she feels better. So what I'll be using on the baby goats is not really medicine. It's just a bunch of vitamins. It's called Goat Nutri-Drench. I'm just gonna give them 1 squirt in their mouth orally, and just give them a little extra vitamins, a little extra nutrition. and just give them a little bit more of a chance. So we'll give that to them real quick, and then we'll talk about how I'm treating the whole herd and also kind of how I'm gonna manage sheep a little more. So I gave them the Nutri-Drench. I didn't show it to them, but I gave them 1 squirt apiece in their mouth. I held sheep down and let both the babies suck, and they got a good drink. And so we'll do that again this afternoon and just kind of let them keep getting a drink every once in a while. I don't want to wear her down, but also they're gonna, in this small pen, they're gonna pester her enough. She might give up and just let them suck. Moving forward, I've got this little pen over here that I only have two nannies in. Me and Maddie went out of town to visit her parents yesterday. We got back yesterday, but I put one nanny, our last nanny that we're expecting to have babies in there, just so my parents could keep a closer eye on her in case she had a baby. But she hasn't had it, and you know, I'm back in town now, I'm around, I can check on her. So we're probably gonna get her and this one right here moved back up to the front with the other goats. Maybe not today, but tomorrow. And I'll let sheep out of this little pen, let her in that pen with some grass, fresh grass. And so these babies can have something to munch on as well as her. So we're just gonna leave them penned up for at least one night. Try to let her stop burning so much energy walking around. But let's go up to the front and I'm gonna show you how I will treat the whole herd with that cord, and hopefully we can control this Coccidia outbreak. So the last thing we're gonna do to try to stop this Coccidia stuff is I've got 8 ounces of cord in a measuring cup here. I'm gonna put it in this 50-gallon water tank that we have with some fresh water, and let the goats drink that. That'll just kind of control the problem. It's not as strong as that drench that I mixed up that I gave sheep, but this will kind of control the problem as it progresses. And once we get out of the spring weather where it's warm and wet, and get into some more summer climate where it's getting drier, all these parasites will stop being such a problem. And we're trying to get into our pasture rotation as well. It's just, we got to get some babies off some mamas, so we got some more grass available so we can start rotating some animals. But we're just gonna pour that in there, and that's gonna be it. This 8 ounces will treat 50 gallons of water. You just want them fresh, clean water, so they're drinking it. Don't offer them any other water but that water. And whenever they drink that tank down, we'll fill it back up with some fresh water, and we'll put 8 more ounces in there over the next couple weeks. Just try to control this a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It wasn't really a how to treat goats for Coccidia or anything like that. It's just kind of how we do it, the stuff that we use to do it. Like I said, I'll leave all that stuff in the description box below. We're gonna hope that sheep pulls through this and her baby's gonna be fine. We're gonna monitor it pretty closely. If we need to pull those babies off and do something else with them, we will. I don't want any more bottle babies, but if I have to, I will. Hopefully this stuff will slow down. This time of year, it's always a little bit of a problem, and if you raise goats long enough, you're gonna see it. So I just kind of wanted to put this video out there. I don't want to hide anything. You know, I have bad things happen as well. I'm not an expert and don't claim to be. It's just part of managing goats, managing any animals. You're gonna deal with things like this. But like I said earlier, whenever we get out of this kind of wet, warm weather, the parasites won't be as much a problem. And we got to get some babies off some mamas, get everybody back together so I'm not using up so many pastures, and we'll just kind of play it by ear. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave us a comment so we can interact with you, and we'll see y'all on the next one.